We bought a bell tent because the girls wanted to go camping, and I felt that glamping might be more appropriate for family holidays than roughing it in a basic setup. A bell tent seemed to offer all the options we were looking for, somewhere great to stay and also spend time in and around. Although I spent ages deciding which bell tent to buy, I didn't actually think much about what we'd put in it until we did our first trip. It took most of the first year to evolve into exactly what we wanted from it. First time we used our tent, we didn't have any storage. So as you can see, the bags are just plonked on the floor. And our beds were just air mattresses with sleeping bags on them, neither of which I liked and quickly upgraded. We did take our rag rugs with us, and a carpet is an absolute essential for me. Although we do sometimes take a thinner one, we didn't have any furniture, so nowhere to sit except for the floor or our beds. And the bathroom consisted of a potty for the girls and a big bag of stuff to take to the shower block. I did take a bath mat and put it by the door to capture any wet feet. And I did have hanging space for our coats. Both of those have become an essential in our setup, although they have developed a little bit. By the next trip, we had new bedding, and I also got proper mattresses for the adults, although it's a bit difficult to see here. For our final trip that year, we had chairs and a table, some storage solutions, a porta potty, mattresses for everyone, and even some trugs by the door for our footwear. Over the winter, we invested in some beds so that we had our mattresses now on raised up camp beds and provide some storage underneath. And I felt like we were finally getting to the setup I really wanted. With the addition of a canopy outside for either shelter or shade, we finally had the setup I'd been aiming for. A great balance between practicality and comfort. Having been bitten by the bell tent bug, I then bought a 6-metre bell tent. I wanted something with more space for longer trips, and the 6-metre bell tent has about 50% more floor space. Extra space gave us extra options for configuration, and we started with this, a pretty traditional configuration. But what you're seeing here is it's set up in our garden for the first time, and it's a bit like those pictures on websites, isn't it? It's not real life. Okay, so here's the reality of what the tent actually looks like in use when we're in the middle of the day. Everybody's been in and out a few times, a couple of jumpers thrown about. My handbag exploded on my bed. As you can see, there's just tons and tons of room. But there isn't tons of privacy. So you can create that by using an inner tent. So here we've got different areas, including 2 bedrooms at the back or 1 big bedroom. And those doors at the front do close. And we've created a little toilet nook there and then the kitchen here at the front. For our last trip of 2024, we tried another different setup, and it worked so well for us that this is the one we've been using ever since. Here's our fridge freezer. First time we've had that, and I'll talk more about that in a separate video. And our kitchen unit, recycling and rubbish bins, washing up and so on, some food storage, and a little cool stall. The grey stall is a cool stall as well. Coming round, then we've sort of got a living area here. It does move around, to be honest. Obviously on a nice day this goes outside, on a rainy day it comes inside. This is here because it's first thing in the morning. And then over here we have our little toilet area, and I use this little kind of beach sarong lightweight towel to cordon it off a little bit so that when the front doors open we can still go to the loo without anybody being able to see us. So the other side of that, then we have our little porta potty, and the yellow Sainsbury's bag there has our toilet stuff in, spare toilet rolls and so on like that. And the pink one then is for our dirty washing. This cool stall, the grey cool stall here, actually has all our electronic stuff in, and I put it in there to make sure it doesn't overheat, because the tent gets quite hot during the day, doesn't it? That's my handbag. And then here we have got the beds. For this setup, this time, because it's going to be quite rainy at times, I've put all the beds around the outside to give us the maximum room in the middle of the tent. So the 3 beds, mine and the girls, go round the edge like that, all the way back to the door. And this is our other trug that has coats in, and as you can see, a couple of things that the girls have just stuffed in there. And then the other bag there with it, you can see things falling out again. That is our sort of bathroom bag, if you like. It's got towels in and toiletries bag and some wipes falling out there. In front of the front door, I have just a little mat that I bought from Home Base. I think this one came from. So that when we come in, it isn't fully waterproof, you know, it's woven, but it just makes a big difference to the carpet to avoid getting that soaking wet, and also full of grass and things. And at this campsite, because they've got gravel, hard standing for caravans, that's getting trodden in as well. So it just gives us somewhere for all of that to take our shoes off and put them away. This is the setup that seems to work best for us at the moment, although it does vary a little bit from trip to trip. I hope this video has given you some ideas of how you might like to set your bell tent up and the kind of things you'd like inside it. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more videos on glamping, please like or subscribe to our channel.